but then I'll get into a little bit of detail. So I think it's obvious to everybody in this room that in the next 20 years there's going to be a revolution, a major revolution in healthcare, and the merger of technology and the healthcare system is going to fundamentally change the way consumers, payers, doctors, insurance companies, pretty much anyone interacts with each other. So, and the Accountable Care Act has already started that wave of transformation, and we desperately need this, right? I mean, we as a country are, spending, I think by 2020 it'll be 20% of our GDP, and we have 65% overweight and obesity, and we have massive growth in diabetes, and these are real issues. So what's exciting for us is to actually see the merger of technology and healthcare, and really with the Affordable Care Act and sort of all the regulatory change, really trying to fundamentally get at the core of what's been broken for a long time. And we see some really interesting near-term trends. So for example, wearable devices. So there'll be 150 million wearable devices. People will be wearing sensors. There'll be a lot of data captured and insights provided to consumers. We see the consumerization of healthcare upon us. And we see insurance dramatically changing, moving to the exchange model and providing real accountability and price transparency. So these things are going to move quickly. And it's one of those things where technology always takes a little bit longer, but when it kicks in, it moves faster than you expect. So we don't know the exact timeline. It's 3 to 7 years or so, we think. And there are 6 key areas at Kleiner that we're watching. So one is electronic medical records and personal health records. So, Epic has been in the business for a long time, and they're a fantastic company, but they're also the old world model, right? And, there's a lot of Practice Fusion and Dr. Corona, there's a lot of new models coming out that are truly cloud-based, that have much better user interfaces, that are easier for big institutions to manage. So we're looking in that space. We're also looking at devices and home health monitoring for the aging population, tracking your own, basic stats to help monitor your disease. We're looking at new insurance models, new exchange models. Telemedicine, we're investors in Teladoc, and there's going to be a lot more interaction with your doctor via mobile devices. And we don't have enough doctors in the world, so this will help. We don't think the Vodaphone is going to replace the doctor, but we think it's going to aid in help. And chronic conditions. Chronic conditions will be managed very differently in the future. In the near future, because now everyone's held accountable, and if you have a cardiac incident and you leave the hospital and you come back within 30 days, well, the hospitals and the docs are held accountable now, so it changes things pretty quickly. And then finally, big data. We're looking at the implications of big data are pretty broad. It's consumer data around health, it's genetic data, it's treatment data, it's recommendations for how to deal with a specific issue, it's looking at patterns across the globe. So the big data will take time because all these other things have to happen first and move into the cloud. But once they do, you can imagine we'll discover, we'll diagnose and discover whole new ways of treatment. So it's pretty exciting. So I think the next 20 years are going to be hugely transformational for healthcare. And it's great to see a lot of entrepreneurs in the room and everybody looking at this space and trying to figure out how to change the world. So it's great to meet you, and I look forward to hearing the panel.